Chapter 94. Man's Spiritual House. And now the disciples at the water's edge ask me, "Where, O Lord, shall we be going now?" I said, "We shall head straight for home." The disciples replied, "Lord, there we shall not fare too well. For have not the Pharisees taken everything away from your earthly mother of your body? And so home, in our opinion, is in a somewhat sad state, even though we know that everywhere is home to you, and you therefore are at home." Said I, "You ought to by now be more versed in the language of the Spirit. If I say that we are heading straight for home, do I want to go to Nazareth? Understand for once. When I speak of going home, I mean man's interior, which is man's true gathering point of life, strength, power, and all wisdom. There we therefore are going. We are in need of inner spiritual rest, and this is a proper home. Within it, not on my but your account, we shall find what the outer flesh and blood is in need of. Do you understand that? Say the disciples, "Yes, Lord, now we understand it." I said, "Terrestrially, however, we are going to kiss Jonah again. In his home we are safe, because this is a free house, and it pays a large tribute for this to the emperor, and the Pharisees shall be kept away. But a few days thereafter we shall indeed be going to the terrestrial fatherland, and shall attempt to make straight what has become exceedingly crooked." Says Jonah, "Lord, I would that it were your pleasure for not just a few days, but preferably that you stay at my, or rather in all truth, exclusively your house, together with all yours, for a few moons, months, or at least a few weeks, because in Nazareth you shall, unless you let fire and brimstone rain from the sky, find little or no reception, especially with the scribes and Pharisees, who are increasingly after your life." I answer him, "Friend, banish such cares, for I can only be got at or harmed to the extent that the Father who is within me, as I am within him, allows it. And all the things that will be allowed for the salvation of mankind and the fulfillment of Scripture I have already known in advance for an eternity. All the prophets would never have been able to prophesy this without my knowing it in advance. For the same Spirit now dwelling in all fullness within me and speaking to you has also spoken to the prophets what you read in the Scripture. Since now the same Spirit is personally here, he must also fulfill what he has prophesied of himself through the prophets. You should not worry about it, for this Almighty Spirit will surely know how to help himself." Jonah, understanding me, keeps silent. Then, after a while, beating his breast 3 times, he says, "I am not actually worthy of your sheltering under my roof, but show me poor sinner grace and mercy nevertheless, and stay a few days for my comfort." I said, "Feel at ease nevertheless, because for as long as I have work to do on this earth, I shall stay with you, together with all who are with me, for your house shall be my house of rest. But I shall nevertheless have to frequently leave it on account of my work. But I shall never leave it spiritually, laying my hands on Jonah's heart